Lord Demo's here, guys. How y'all doing today? Well, it's been a good weekend for me in every way because we're talking about Tommy today from Power Rangers, and this is for my little girl, Cordy. Her birthday's this month. So is mine. Tomorrow's actually my birthday, so it was good for both of us. But we're going to be talking about Power Rangers this month, which is a decent subject. A lot of people don't realize how much there's actually a lot of lore into Power Rangers and how much depth they actually take in some of the stuff. Now, just to be fair, so anyone out there who listens and pays attention to this, I will not talk about Super Sentai and all that. Yes, that is a great series. That's what started the Power Rangers. That's what we adapted for the Power Rangers. But I don't know too much about that stuff. And also, I mean, I can look into it, of course, if I need to and all that, but I'm going to strictly stick to the Power Rangers stuff because that's the stuff I know, and that's the things I understand. And, of course, I mean, like I said, I am a big fan of the Sentai stuff. There's some things in there that I wish they could have gone and adapted into certain concepts. I'd like, so don't get me wrong. I do like Super Sentai and all that stuff, but I'm just not going to get into it with y'all because my choice, okay? My choice. But, like I was going to say, we're doing Tommy this week. And to give out a little shout out, I went to yesterday with Cordy and everybody. We went and saw his actor, Jason David Frank, and I got him to sign a couple of my comics, as you see. This is one from the Boom Studios. This is the one he signed for me, as you see. And then he also signed one for Cordy. And everything. Cordy, of course, got shy. Didn't want to say anything. I got a couple pictures on Facebook with him. And then, of course, his new movie coming out this year, what they were saying was I think it's going to come out in August. Now, I can't tell you if it will be on YouTube or not. I can't answer that because what I heard was that they're going to release it on different things before it gets to certain areas. And I'm going to look into that more and let y'all know because I'm excited to see it because this is supposed to be kind of like a Power Ranger concept without being a Power Ranger concept. So it's something I'm very interested in seeing. The suit's completely unique. But it was really nice meeting the guy. He's really nice. Good guy. And it was cool. I enjoyed it. And, of course, a couple Mary liked seeing it. Elena, I wish Christmas was there, but she wasn't. So was Piper. I wish they were there to see him and everything. Got some stuff signed. Cordy, she loves Tommy, but of course that didn't play out because she got all nervous. She was really upset he wasn't wearing the Green Ranger outfit. She did not like that. She pretty much he has disappointed her on that. Jason, if you watch this, thanks for watching my video first off, and then also, man, I'm sorry. You disappointed her. It's all cool though. But anyway, let's talk about Tommy. Tommy is one of the most infamous and most famous Power Rangers that anyone knows. Anyone who grew up watching Power Rangers, even now, modern people who watch Power Rangers, they've learned who Tommy is because he didn't just do Mighty Morphin. He has popped up in different series and different things. Tommy is infamous. He's even in all the comics in every way. And I believe what makes Tommy unique is not just that he's this guy who understands and this guy who's been through things. Because, he originally started out as the Green Dragon Ranger in the Mighty Morphin, which was really cool. It was one of my favorite. I mean, I loved Tommy. I loved his outfit. I loved everything about it. And then I loved him having the dagger, which still scientifically doesn't make sense because he's wearing a helmet blowing into the thing. But whatever. It's all cool. I don't understand it, but I'll go with it, dude. But it's just unique concept because I loved everything about Tommy. He was this guy who was bad, who was forced into it first off. But Rita saw something in him and turned him bad and made him a bad ranger. And he literally laid waste to the Power Rangers all on his own. One dude could take all of them out. That shows you how powerful he really was. He was strong enough and powerful enough to take out the entire team all on his own. And he was the very first human Power Ranger to ever grow to a Zord size. Kudos for him. But anyway, he And then, of course, he was freed from her spell and became the good guy. And that's what a lot of people liked about him, was that he understood, he was very forgiving, understood things better because he knew he was privileged. That these people accepted him even after all he did, and he felt privileged for it. And then he became the White Ranger, which was cool because they showed him that he was the embodiment of light, something that can never be twisted, which I'm gonna bring back later. And then this is another thing. And then later, when they created the Zeo Rangers, he became the new Red Ranger, which is cool because everybody already knew he was kind of the leader and everything. It was nice seeing him become actually established as a leader, because the Red Ranger is always the leader, but during the Mighty Morphin time when he became the White Ranger, they let him be the leader. But it was just good to see him do that. And then he did the Turbo stuff for a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the Turbo Rangers. That's just me, but whatever. But he took that on, and then he left. He went on to pursue and go to college and everything else. And I liked was he became a paleontologist. I like that concept. That was so cool because it fits the dinosaur themes and all that he grew into, that we all loved from him. And then, but he didn't just do that. He created his own Power Rangers. He had his own team, and then he became the new freaking Black Ranger or Gold Ranger, whatever you want to call him, for them. Which was awesome to see him take on a new form, a new power, and watch him fight bad guys. I mean, that was just freaking awesome. And that's Dino Thunder, if anyone wants to know. That's in the Dino Thunder series. And it was cool seeing Tommy return. Everybody loved that about him. You admire this, that this is Tommy and that's what he was doing. And then when they did the Megaforce stuff, and they were always referencing the older Rangers. And then when they started doing Super Megaforce, and where they could switch out between the Power Ranger stuff and all that, which was really cool. I mean, the Sentai thing, that's one of the only Sentai ones I think they should have actually pushed more into, because the concept of the Sentai with that was a lot better. But anyway, and they did more forms, just to make that point. So that was cool to see that. And then during that whole battle and all these things that they were facing, you see some of the older Rangers return. And of course, there's Tommy, and who's leading them at the final battle where they go take out the army. Tommy shows up and offers to help, and he was honored to fight with them. And that's the thing; he doesn't think he's better than them, but he's there to help. He wants to help. And of course, it was awesome seeing him back in his green Dragon Zord outfit, which was cool because they say the power was lost, but he got it back. Which I can reference later, but he got his powers back. So, of course, that was cool to see that. And then later down the line, it was during, work with me here, I got to remember all this. This is the one I always, because I'm not really up to date with a lot of the newer stuff. I know they had a few new things. I know it wasn't during I think it was during the Ninja Steel stuff. I think it was Ninja Steel. They were battling it out with a group of people. And these groups were using old Rangers to make armies. And, of course, here comes Tommy popping back up. But he has something that was so cool. The Master Morpher. We'll let him switch between these Rangers. You can look it up. Just look up Power Rangers Master Morpher. And it will let you watch a few minutes of it. He just switching between them. Like it's nothing. And it was cool to see these old Ranger forms. And Tommy again. And, of course, there's the Green Ranger form. Always good. But what I was discussing with some people I know, that I believe Tommy is going to be the next Zordon kind of character. And why I believe that references so much to other stuff. And it's more in depth to something else. Yes, he was evil and he understood his evil and everything. But if you read these comics right here, the Boom Studio ones, which are considered kind of canon and everything, you are introduced to Lord Drakkon. Lord Drakkon is Tommy when the spell was broken, but he rejoined with Rita. Instead of going with the Power Rangers, he rejoined with Rita and became a conqueror and fought with her, for her, willingly, and showed you what he was capable. This is a being Drakkon was such a being that he not only was so dangerous that Zordon was going to give Jason, the original Red Ranger, the White Ranger powers, that he broke into the power command center, killed Jason, and took the power of the White Ranger and then fused it with the Dragon Zord power, which I'm still trying to figure out. If Evil could never use a power, use the White Ranger power, how did he get it? I don't understand. I got a question on that. I want someone to answer that. If you might have a theory or something like that, please let me know. I haven't figured that one out. But anyway, he did that and created a whole new form for himself and became Lord Drakkon of this. You know, he was this powerful being, and then he went about going through all these other realms and dimensions and universes within the grid, instilling other Power Rangers' powers and fusing them into himself over time, becoming basically a living god. It took the real Tommy, from the one we know, to kind of get into his head that everything he was trying to do was just to prove a point that he was the only real evil Tommy. The other ones, he was the only one that was like that. No other Tommy ever existed like him. In any other of the dimensions and other realms and universes and multiverse ways, all across there was only him. All the other ones, boy, girl, different ways they did it, all that, he still was the only evil Tommy. But I think that's because the dramatic power that he was. Think about how powerful Lord Drakkon was. He was beyond power. He was strong. He was powerful. But see, that was what. But I'm not going to get into that. We can do another video on Lord Drakkon one day. But my concept is that that's how powerful of a person Tommy is. Tommy isn't just the Green Ranger or a Power Ranger who learned his mistakes and went about trying to fix them and also went forward to help the world. But in this alternate reality, he didn't fix his mistake and fall through. Either way, he became this powerful being. He can be either a powerful force for good or a powerful force for evil. He was a pivot being. You know what I'm saying? He was a being that wasn't just one or the other. He no matter which way he played it, he was going to be a big player. Period. Other Rangers have had different powers, and gone through different forms and stuff like that, but none of them are on the level that Tommy was. Tommy has been more different Power Rangers, more different forms, more of everything. Hell, he created his own Rangers. That's enough for you to understand that right there. And his own Zords. He made these things. Think about it, that's what Zordon did, and Ninjor and all of them. They created Power Rangers. Yeah, you say, okay, what about the ones for Overdrive and Operation whatever that thing was? I really don't like that one either. I forgot. But they have all these people who make Power Rangers and everything. Yeah, but here's the difference: they made these Rangers with science and everything, but Tommy was an old Ranger, has felt power before, true power, and then he created his own team of Power Rangers, joined that team as well, and you should watch the episodes where he battles himself in his mind. Those are really cool, watching him do that. But anyway, it's on the Dino Thunder ones where he's kind of in a coma and he's got to battle his old Zeo, White Ranger. Then, of course, the last one he's got to fight is the Green Ranger, which is an awesome fight. I even like how he even referenced, even you alone know how powerful I really am. So that shows you that even the Green Ranger was that powerful. But that's, as I was saying, and then he went about and created a Master Morpher, which gave him the capability to switch just through all the Ranger forms he ever achieved. Think about it. This man was so pivotal. He's learned all these things and kept going. I'm not saying it's going to be something you see in soon. I'm just saying I can see them doing it in a comic book series. I can see them doing this as a future thing. Look up Power Rangers Hexagon. I would have loved to see the Power Ranger Hexagon. This is what they would have done with Ninja Storm. What they did with Ninja Storm, but they were going to do it with Hexagon, where it was like two type of like a similar concept that he did to Dino Thunder, but instead he's running like a government operation where they're out fighting these villains and everything. And he's like kind of like their boss and all that. And then the what are those, the Thunder War ones, the darker ones came about, and they were going to be I have to remember. I can't remember them. I got to look. I've only seen Ninja Storm one time, but anyway, they were. I watched that whole series once. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great in my opinion. But anyway, he was, and then Jason was supposed to lead a different team, and of course they would team up and work together. But in the end, they were also going to, because there was supposed to be like a green samurai ranger on there to help them out. He was supposed to take on those powers, Tommy, and be the new Green Ranger. That would have been cool, you know? But also he would have been the last villain, too, because he would have started thinking the Rangers weren't going to do what they needed to do. They weren't fighting this, and they weren't doing the necessary things, and he felt like they were failing him and everything, so he became too power-headed. And thinking only he could do what was right. And they had to stop him on some level. Which would have been real. Like I said, the storyline was cool, and then also the villains weren't going to be like one villain. It was going to be multiple villains. Like they were going to bring back Rita, Zedd. They were going to bring back the Machine Empire, Divatox. They were going to bring all these older ones and other ones that came about for them to go battle. Like they were trying to do their own schemes, and they were going to go deal with these situations and take their problems out, which would have been cool too. That idea was scrapped. I'm hoping one day they might do something like that. That would have been something similar or something on that level. That would be cool. But anyway, if you put it all together, think about it. This is a person who has gone through more multiple forms of Power Rangers than anyone. He has also created his own Power Rangers. He's created a Master Morpher. And I'm not saying he actually created these things, but he uses them. And I'm not. But here's the thing: you can't tell me that this man doesn't know how the damn thing works. Okay, I mean, if he helped create the power, his Dino Charger, Thunders, and learn how they did it and help create their weapons and all that, you got to tell me this man knew some tricks. But if you sit there and look at this, and then you take on the account of what Drakkon did and all that stuff, this being has a potential to be so much more than what the others are. And then and yes, you can go, there's that comic book that's just considered canon. It's called The Soul of the Dragon. It explains that over time, at a certain age, Tommy loses all his powers. He uses all of the power that's in the Master Morpher to help his son, who's actually in the SPD, which was cool. They actually put that as a concept. And he goes out through this whole adventure, and he to stop, which was cool of Scorpina because she was still around. But anyway, he fought this guy, and he used up all his powers except for the Green Ranger power, which he gave to his son, who mixed it with his SPD powers. So that was cool. But anyway, they're saying he retires entirely now. He's done entire. And you know what? That could happen. I'm not going to argue. Maybe Tommy's done. I don't say that's not going to happen. What I'm saying is they have so much potential with this person. There's also this concept that's in the Sentai thing, which I think they're trying to lean towards on certain levels. I've seen it, certain references toward it. There's a being called, I think it's Aka Red, A-K-A Red. I'm not going to say I can pronounce that correctly. Aka, but anyway, he is supposed to represent, he's the guardian of the Power Rangers. Basically, his job is to watch over all Rangers and make sure their histories and everything is kept the way it's supposed to be. Oh, he only gets involved when he realizes things are out of flux. And every time a new Ranger team appears, some reason he gains more power because of it, but he doesn't use it. That'd been another good concept for Tommy. But I still think the Zordon thing fits better because he's someone who understands evil and good. He understands what it means, and he knows that. It's not just that he doesn't understand. He doesn't been through enough and seen enough and fought all these. He understands evil differently than the other Rangers. Because he knows what it is, and he knows he could potentially become one of them, these evil beings, and be okay with it. He has that potential. So yeah, I mean, I think Tommy could be a new Zordon. He could, over time, be presented. And I'm not saying like the big floating head. That was just something that happened to Zordon between him and Rita, which we can make another video about. But it's saying that he can become so powerful that even when they could even say he retires and he finally passes away. But instead of passing into like the afterlife or heaven or anything, they can say he becomes part of the grid. And the grid gives him a presence of its own, almost like Zordon, and he is this being now. He's this person who is a protector, a fighter of the Power Rangers. I mean, hell, that's one thing they even reference in the Soul of the Dragon and in Zeo with the Zeo Rangers, which he was the Red Zeo Ranger, was that the Zeo powers will always grow and become more and more powerful over time. That even references that he still has this power until, of course, the Soul Dragon says he lost it. He keeps getting the powers back. I'm sorry. He's going to get it back. It's just going to happen. Because that's what happens. He has this potential for that concept. I mean, it's Power Rangers. You can do whatever you want with them. But what I'm saying is he can potentially become that powerful. I mean, I can see that. I can see if they ever try to make Tommy into a pivotal character and say he is now like a Zordon, quite powerful, knowledgeable, and a force for good, which he is, but he is like a being of the light. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see him fight these things and become. I can see it on so many levels. And go on to help other teams and Power Rangers, which he's already doing. But I'm just saying he will become more of a Zordon type of character. And I say there's so much potential there, and that's so cool. Tommy is one of my favorites because I can relate to the concept of understanding, and there's Lorelai. I'm sorry, that's my cat Lorelai. She apparently decided she wanted to be a part of this video. But what I'm saying is, like I was trying to say, Tommy is one of my favorites for that reason. I understand the concept of wanting to do bad things sometimes, understanding the bad, and not just simple little, oh, I want to hit this person. No, I'm talking about some bad things sometimes. I have, and we all probably have these urges, but some people don't really like thinking about it, coping with it, and some people can cope with it. But I like seeing a potential of a person who has so much potential to be good or bad that it's just a matter of his decisions. And he chooses to be a good person, a being of light, and he uses it, you know. And I offer to everybody, if you're a big comic book fan or just a big Power Ranger fan, you really should start reading some of these Boom comics. They are really good. I like seeing Lord Drakkon. I like seeing the old Power Rangers and stories evolving around them. You know, and Rita. I love seeing Rita, and my personal favorite villain of all time, Lord Zedd, which, I'm sorry, the man is awesome. I love Lord Zedd. Well, and speaking on that, I am going to throw out for next video, I'm going to give y'all my choices. Well, choices for y'all, basically. Sorry. My personal favorite, I would hope everyone jumps on board with me, is Zedd. Lord Zedd. And what I would like to talk about is, I think he was one of the original Red Rangers ever in the entire universe. And he was turned evil. And I want to discuss why I think that and everything and stuff like that. And then there's the Putty Control again, or other minions and stuff like that. What their potentials really are compared to what they were used for. I believe there was a lot more potential for these kind of beings. They just weren't utilized correctly. And then let's see here. Let's talk. You know what? We could do a Lord Drakkon video if you want. I could do that. I like the Lord Drakkon series. So we can talk about an evil Tommy and what he went about doing and the things he's done. And so for those who don't really know, but Lord Drakkon is one of my favorite things. But yeah. Well, y'all just choose and everything. And happy birthday to me. And Cordy, I hope Cordy likes all her stuff, and I know she likes seeing Jason, and I hope somehow, in some way, Jason gets to see this video. Hope so. I hope you do, and like and subscribe. Sorry, stuttered there for a minute. All right, y'all. So I'll see y'all next time. Have a good day.